They told you comfort was progress, that every invention, every convenience, every click that saves you effort was a sign of civilization. But look closely. Comfort has not made you strong. Comfort has made you soft. You sit in a climate-controlled room, you press a button, food arrives. You avoid hunger, avoid pain, avoid silence. But the same things you avoid are the very things that once forged men into leaders, warriors, creators. Comfort promised safety, but safety became sedation, and sedation became slavery. This is the great lie of our time. You are not free. You are caged. A cage so soft, so pleasant, so padded, you never fight to escape. I call it the velvet cage. It is not a prison of steel or chains. It is a prison of pillows, screens, endless dopamine, endless convenience. And the tragedy? Most men love their cage. They decorate it. They show it off. They mistake their prison for paradise. But every second inside this velvet cage, your strength dies. Your will dissolves. Your fire fades. Until one day, you look in the mirror and realize you've been domesticated. You think comfort is reward. But the truth? Comfort is corrosion. Look at history. Every empire, every dynasty, every kingdom, born from hardship, destroyed by comfort. Rome wasn't defeated by enemies. Rome was defeated by softness, by bread and circuses, by men who traded discipline for luxury. And now, look at us. Stronger bodies than ever? No. Weaker. Sharper minds? No. Numbed by endless distraction. Closer to freedom? No. Slaves to algorithms and delivery apps. Modern life whispers, relax, don't strain, don't fight, don't suffer. And each time you obey, you tighten the lock on your velvet cage. Here is the truth most men never see. Comfort is not neutral. It is a weapon. Not a weapon in your hand, but a weapon in the hands of those who profit from your weakness. Look at your day. Every notification, every streaming service, every delivery app, every like button. None of this was created to free you. It was created to domesticate you. Why? Because a man who is tired, distracted, satisfied with crumbs, never revolts. He never questions. He never rises. He thinks he is choosing, but in reality he is consuming exactly what the cage demands. Neuroscience calls it the dopamine loop. Every time you open a screen, a flood of chemicals rewards you, not for building, not for conquering, not for suffering and overcoming, but for tapping, scrolling, consuming. It feels harmless. It feels small. But here is the invisible mechanism. Every drop of dopamine stolen by comfort is fuel stolen from your will. A Roman soldier endured days without food and marched 30 miles with armor on his back. A modern man panics if his Wi-Fi drops for 5 minutes. Do you see the decay? Do you see how softness has reversed evolution itself? Since childhood, you were taught to avoid pain. If it hurts, stop. If you're bored, distract yourself. If you're sad, escape into entertainment. But the Stoics taught the opposite. Seneca wrote, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." Yet friction has been erased. Your environment removes hunger, removes challenge, removes silence. And what is left? A body that atrophies,
a mind that dulls, a spirit that forgets how to fight. Why is this so dangerous? Because comfort is not just personal, it is political. A population addicted to ease does not rebel. A man who cannot endure discomfort cannot resist authority. Marcus Aurelius endured winters on campaign, slept on the ground with his soldiers, ate the same bread they ate. He was emperor of Rome, yet he chose hardship. Why? Because he knew the moment a leader softens, he loses respect. The moment a man softens, he loses himself. And what are we now? Rulers of our own lives? No. We are pets. Pets of convenience, entertained by glowing screens, fed by corporations, pacified by endless comfort. Ask yourself this: when was the last time you were truly hungry? When was the last time you shivered in the cold, pushed past exhaustion, or endured pain without escape? If you cannot remember, then you have already begun to rot inside the velvet cage.
If comfort is the velvet cage, how do you escape? Not by running from society, not by rejecting every convenience, but by choosing discomfort on purpose, by turning what others avoid into your training ground. The weak man flees pain. The strong man hunts it. Because pain is not punishment. Pain is the forge. Tool 1. The cold throne. Every morning you have a choice. Warmth, ease, softness. Or the cold. Step into freezing water and you meet reality. No screen can save you, no distraction can numb you. There is only breath, shock, discipline. Science confirms this. Cold exposure spikes dopamine not for seconds, but for hours. It resets your nervous system. It trains your mind to endure what the herd refuses. The weak man begins his day with comfort. The sovereign begins his day with conquest. Tool 2. The hunger hour. Modern life says, eat now, snack now, never feel hunger. But hunger is a teacher. Practice fasting, not as punishment, but as proof. Proof that you are not a slave to your stomach. When Marcus Aurelius campaigned in Germania, he often rationed bread, not because he had to, but because he wanted to feel what his soldiers felt. Seneca wrote that wealth is not owning many things, but needing few. Skip a meal. Skip a day. Let hunger burn. Because every hour you conquer hunger, you conquer yourself. Tool 3. The iron body. Weakness hides in stillness. Screens chain you to chairs. The cage lulls you into paralysis. Break it with iron. Lift weights until your muscles tremble. Run until your lungs scream. Train until your body obeys. A man who cannot command his body cannot command his destiny. And yet every rep, every sprint, every push-up is not just muscle, it is memory. Memory that you chose pain when you could have chosen comfort. Tool 4. The silence ritual. The velvet cage is not only physical, it is mental. Noise surrounds you. Notifications, voices, opinions, distractions. The herd cannot stand silence. So you must master it. Take 1 hour each day with no music, no phone, no voices, only silence. At first, it feels like emptiness, Then it becomes clarity. Finally, it becomes a crown. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." In silence, you meet the self the world hides from you. Tool 5. The discipline of fire. Make discomfort your daily oath. Not once, not sometimes, but every day. One act of chosen hardship. Cold water, hunger, training, silence. Saying no. Because discipline is not built in comfort. Discipline is born when you walk into fire willingly. And each flame you endure becomes fuel. The weak wait for motivation. The sovereign trains in fire. Ask yourself right now, if your comfort was stripped away, no phone, no soft bed, no steady meals, would you survive? Or would you collapse, like the empires that drowned in their own luxury?
Here is the brutal truth. Your enemy is not outside. It is not governments. It is not corporations. It is the velvet cage you built around yourself. And this cage has many guards. They wear the masks of pleasure, distraction, and convenience. But each guard whispers the same command: stay weak. Scroll, click, swipe. You tell yourself it's harmless, just a few minutes, but hours vanish. Your focus dissolves. Your fire is drained by pixels that give you nothing in return. This is not entertainment. This is sedation. Every moment you spend feeding the machine feeds on you. Psychology calls it variable reward, the same trick casinos use. Maybe this scroll will bring joy, maybe the next. And so you keep scrolling, a gambler who always loses. Food delivered in minutes. Pornography that floods your brain with chemicals stronger than nature itself. Streaming platforms that autoplay until dawn. You think these things make you free, but they make you dependent. Because the man who cannot delay pleasure cannot command his future. Seneca warned, "He who indulges his senses weakens his soul." Modern life has taken indulgence and turned it into daily ritual, and every ritual of pleasure becomes a chain. Comfort promises safety, but the safety it gives is not strength, it is fragility. You drive instead of walking. You order instead of cooking. You text instead of facing someone in person. Each choice removes a layer of resilience. So when the storm comes, and it always comes, you break, because you trained only in ease, never in hardship. So how do you resist when everything is designed to weaken you? You create a protocol, a code of daily war against the velvet cage. Guard the gates. Delete what weakens you. Limit what distracts you. If it steals focus, it steals life. Win the first hour. Begin each day with discipline, not comfort. Cold, hunger, silence, or iron. Choose your fire. Impose hardship. If life no longer gives you natural trials, manufacture them. Long fasts, heavy training, difficult learning. Reject the soft life. Say no to excess, no to constant entertainment, no to pleasures that demand nothing. Every no sharpens your will. Record the battle. Write down your victories and failures.
Every day is a campaign. Every entry is proof you are at war. The weak man says, it's just one episode, just one scroll, just one indulgence. But a sovereign knows every act is training. Every indulgence strengthens the cage. Every refusal strengthens the crown.
Comfort feels modern, but the danger of softness is as old as civilization itself. Every great thinker, every empire builder, every survivor of history's darkest trials whispered the same warning. Comfort kills. Hardship crowns. Seneca lived in the wealth of Rome, surrounded by luxury, praised by the powerful. And yet he wrote, "We are most weakened when we imagine ourselves safe." He practiced poverty on purpose, sleeping on the ground, wearing coarse clothes, eating scraps, so that when life struck, he was ready. His wealth did not rule him, because he trained to live without it. Marcus Aurelius, emperor of the world's greatest empire, kept his body hardened by war. He wrote in his Meditations, "It is not death that a man should fear, but never beginning to live according to nature." And what is nature? Struggle, hunger, cold, effort. Not air-conditioned rooms and endless comfort food. Epictetus, born a slave, knew chains, and yet he warned that true chains are not on the body, but on the will. No man is free who is a slave to his appetites. Neuroscience has a name for your cage: hedonic adaptation. Every time you indulge in comfort, the pleasure fades, so you need more and more and more. Comfort becomes not freedom, but addiction. The very thing that feels like reward is the reason you grow weaker. Studies on resilience prove this. Children shielded from failure collapse when confronted with it later. People who avoid discomfort develop higher anxiety, weaker immunity, and shorter attention spans. Comfort does not protect you. Comfort breaks you when reality arrives. Your body was built for struggle, to run, to climb, to fight, to endure cold nights and hunger. But modern life chains you to chairs, to cars, to screens. Science shows that inactivity does not just shrink muscle. It rewires your brain, lowering dopamine receptors, increasing depression, and reducing motivation. Comfort is not harmless. It is biochemical sabotage. Think of Viktor Frankl imprisoned in concentration camps, starved, beaten, stripped of all comfort. Yet in the darkest silence, he wrote, "Those who have a why to live can bear almost any how." Frankl proved what comfort denies. Strength is not found in luxury, but in meaning carved through suffering. Think of Ernest Shackleton's Antarctic expedition. Trapped in ice for 2 years, freezing, starving. And yet his men survived because hardship demanded unity, demanded courage, demanded strength. Could a modern man survive such a trial? Or would he collapse the first night without Wi-Fi and warm food? The question is not whether comfort feels good. The question is, when the storm comes, and it always comes, will comfort protect you, or will it betray you?
Grand strength is not built in one moment. It is built in 1,000 choices, tiny victories, silent battles. Most men lose these battles before they begin. Why? Because they choose comfort. But the sovereign wins by choosing fire, again and again, until hardship becomes his nature. Think of the man who refuses the elevator and climbs the stairs. Insignificant? No. It is a micro-victory.
proof that he chooses effort where others surrender. Think of the man who skips a meal while his friends indulge. Weakness? No. It is a micro-victory, proof that he rules his hunger instead of kneeling before it. Think of the man who shuts off his phone and sits in silence while others drown in distraction. Loneliness? No. It is a micro-victory, proof that he commands his attention, the rarest currency of all. Alexander the Great crossed deserts with armies half-starved, yet he led from the front. Julius Caesar marched through storms and built bridges with his own hands. Leonidas and his 300 Spartans faced death at Thermopylae, not for survival, but for honor. These men were not made in luxury. They were made in trials, in cold, in hunger, in blood. And their names outlived kingdoms. Contrast that with today. How many men break down if their phone dies? How many curse if their food delivery is late by 10 minutes? Do you see the decline? Do you see the disease of softness? Nikola Tesla walked alone at night, whispering to the hum of electricity. No wife, no children, no distractions, just solitude and fire. And in that silence, he touched lightning itself. Would he have changed the world if he drowned in noise, in constant validation, in the comfort of endless entertainment? Never. Spartans trained barefoot in freezing winters with little food, not because they lacked resources, but because they understood. Comfort kills courage. Hardship multiplies it. Every child was taught pain before pleasure, discipline before indulgence. And the result? A warrior culture still remembered 2,500 years later. You think your daily choices are small, but every act is a seed. One man chooses comfort, and his future rots. Another chooses hardship, and his future crowns him. One extra hour of sleep instead of work, comfort. One skipped workout, comfort. One binge of junk food, comfort. Each act looks small, but small acts build destinies. The sovereign sees this. He knows every refusal of comfort is not wasted. It is stored as strength, stored as fire, stored as sovereignty. So the question is not, can I handle great trials? The question is, are you winning the small wars today? Because if you lose the small wars, the great war will bury you.
Here is the brutal truth. The cage will not break itself. The world will not hand you freedom. And comfort will never let you go without a fight. Because comfort is the perfect prison. It kills you slowly, gently, sweetly, until you no longer realize you are dying. Most men will stay trapped forever. They will decorate their cages with bigger screens, softer beds, sweeter distractions. They will die smiling, but empty. But you are not like most men, because you feel it, that fire inside your chest, that restlessness that no comfort can satisfy, that whisper that says, this is not life, this is sedation. So here is your choice. Stay in the velvet cage, soft, safe, silent, or break it, through fire, through hunger, through silence, through pain. Every act of chosen hardship is a hammer. Every refusal of comfort is a crack in the cage.
Every small victory is a strike of lightning against the bars. Until one day, the velvet cage collapses, and you step out, not soft, not weak, not broken, but forged, hardened, sovereign. The weak call discomfort suffering. The sovereign calls discomfort his throne. Because only in discomfort do you rise above the herd. Only in discomfort do you meet your true self. Only in discomfort do you become untouchable. The Stoics gave it a name, Amor Fati, not to tolerate your hardships, but to love them, to embrace them as your crown, your proof, your destiny. The man who loves his fate, who loves the discomfort that others fear, that man is invincible. Because storms cannot break him. Loss cannot poison him. Silence cannot destroy him. He has turned every trial into fire, every hunger into strength, every pain into proof. So ask yourself now, will you keep living as a prisoner in the velvet cage? Or will you crown yourself with discomfort and step into sovereignty? This is not entertainment. This is not motivation. This is initiation. If you are ready to bury the weak self, if you are ready to smash the velvet cage, then mark it, write it, seal it. Not for me, for you. Because from this moment forward, every act of comfort will feel like betrayal, and every act of hardship will feel like a crown placed upon your head. Break the cage, claim the throne, become untouchable.